South Korean Army troops late this afternoon took control of the provincial capital of Kwangju. Militants opposed to a military takeover of the Seoul government have held the city since May 18th. No further details were available on the Army's action today. The city had been tense throughout the day, though, and Peter Collins filed this report earlier.
A group of clergymen marched through the streets to meet troops and tanks that had been moved up during the night closer to the heart of the city. The clergymen met with two Army generals amid reports the government has set a deadline for the surrender of students and young rebels still holding the city. After some discussion, the Army agreed to pull back its tanks, drawing cheers and applause from the crowd watching. The students have been staging mass demonstrations to show they still have the support of the city after more than a week of violence and unrest. This march through the town drew 30,000 to 40,000 people. The students do appear to have broad support for their demand that the government use no more force. The city is still reeling from the shock and violence of last week's fighting. At the provincial headquarters, relatives are trying to identify victims of the bloody rioting. A citizens group has counted at least 173 persons killed and nearly 900 wounded. A group of American missionaries has remained in Kwangju throughout the last week, despite government appeals for all foreigners to leave.
There were some paratroopers from another province who were here and overreacted in an attempt to stop the students from massing to demonstrate. And we saw instances of unnecessary beatings of students. And this was a sufficiently large number that a large number of responsible citizens in the community became convinced that this was needed to be responded to.
The students holding the province headquarters fear government reprisals if they surrender and are waiting for guarantees of amnesty before they lay down their weapons. They have vowed to fight if the Army attacks. Peter Collins, CBS News, Kwangju, South Korea.
Today